Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt with our Thursday workout. We're going to do a variation on low and slow today that's based on rowing. So the rowing machine has been our focus for our cardiovascular benchmark for this cycle. So we're going to just stick with that same modality. We're just going to keep it at a lower and slower level today. So zone 2 is the name of the game. That is 120 to 140 heart rate, conversational pace the whole time, but not stopping moving, not going hard enough that it makes us have to put our hands on our knees or our hips and take a break. We're just trying to maintain a steady pace for the entire workout, okay? We're gonna take 2 rounds through, 10 calories, your choice, row, bike, or ski. Then we're gonna do some slow squatting. We'll work out those knees, hips, ankles, stretch everything out. And if you want to, at the bottom, you can push those knees apart, right? And get a little extra stretch on the hips. When you're done with 5 reps of the slow squat, we're gonna do our alternating leg roll-ups, right? So I go back on my shoulders, tuck one foot, and then pull myself up to this half kneeling position with my leg kind of kickstanded up underneath me, and then switch to my other leg, okay? Make sure you're using that front foot. I'm kind of digging this heel into the ground as I come up and pulling myself forward, so I'm stretching that hip out on the backside on that one, okay? Next, we're gonna do some light kettlebell windmills, and this one, light is a relative term, right? So if light for you is 5 pounds, that's fine. If light for you is 26 pounds, also fine. But try to rotate into it, keep that arm pushing straight up to the sky, and stretch out those hamstrings and groin as you go down to the bottom of that. And then the last one is a hip strength builder, right? So the muscles that bring our feet together, those are called our adductors, and they are stabilizers to many of the movements that we do, from running to deadlifts to squats. But they are difficult to directly target, but when they're needed, you want them to be there, right? So this is a bent knee, hip adduction raise off the bench. So my knee is bent, right? And I'm raising myself up and then lowering myself down, okay? Raising myself up, lowering myself down. If I need a little help, I can kind of use this bottom leg to push me up and then slowly lower myself down. And if I have trouble slowly lowering myself down with just my top leg adductors, then I can leave this bottom leg on the ground and kind of just float it and put a little bit of pressure on it, but not too much. But you should feel these muscles, the groin muscles, getting strained when you do that at a reasonable amount, right? And the goal there is just to use some slow eccentric elongation of the muscle fibers in those adductors, and that is one of the best ways to prevent a groin injury. Let's say you're playing softball and you sprint, you go for second base, right? That's when someone would pop an Achilles, pop a hamstring, pop a groin muscle, or any of those fast movements that you would do in an athletic setting, or like my foot slid out from underneath me and I'm standing on the ice, and my adductor is the muscle that stops it, right? So it's those fast motions followed by a quick stop. That is what a lot of times will trigger a muscle strain or a tear. And if we can build the strength of those muscles from an eccentric loading like that, a lot of times we can help to prevent that injury, okay? So that's our warm up. The low and slow is next, and we are gonna just alternate between 5 minutes of steady pace rowing and then 5 minutes of a little quality AMRAP or a zone 2 AMRAP. And that just means repeat these exercises at a moderate pace, not a death race pace, not a pain cave pace, but just like a little bit of sweat. I should be able to talk the whole time while I'm doing it, okay? So 5 minutes of row and then 5 minutes of doing these exercises. So we do Spider-Man low crawl, one direction, so staying down low and stepping that foot up forward, reach those elbows for the floor, and then on the way back, we're just doing bear crawl. So now knees off the ground, I'm just bear crawling on the way back. And then we'll do 15 reps of an ab mat sit up, and then follow that with 15 reps of a band good morning. If you want to do a band Romanian deadlift, that's fine too. Good morning and deadlift are approximately the same thing. The knees should stay mostly straight when I do this, and I'm only stretching my hamstrings out, okay? 15 reps, you should feel a little bit of muscle tension in that when you do it, but it should not be awful, right? Next is gonna be, again, 5 minutes of zone 2 rowing, and then 5 minutes of this AMRAP Bulgarian split squat, and body weight only, right? So it's just the weight of my body, and you can feel free to go about this fast. They do not need to be super fast. Just get a good stretch, good little burn in the quads and the glutes. And then Russian kettlebell swing for 16 reps. So that's my eyeball height kettlebell swing. And then finish with 1 rep of a Turkish get up on each hand, right? So remember, whichever hand is holding the kettlebell, that's the knee that's bent, right? Opposite leg is gonna be the one that goes from out front to underneath you before you stand up, okay? And then right back down the way you came. All right, so that is our workout for today. Oh, I'm sorry, finish with another 5 minutes of rowing. So this should be a total of 25 minutes. And if we need to stagger it for people, we'll just have one group start 5 minutes behind. No big deal, okay? That's it for today. Have a great Thursday. I'll see you guys on Friday.